Alright, so this is the Aeromaster, giant Aeromaster. This was given to me last year around September. A friend of mine had it. It was given to him, and I didn't have any immediate plans for it, but I decided to kind of use it as an experiment with larger planes. This is my largest plane right now. This is the ARF version, so it needed to be converted to electric. I cut a hatch in the nose. Both packs swells on 12S. Has a Sunny Sky 30cc 215 kV motor in it with a 1810 Falcon prop, wooden prop. And yeah, it flies really nice. This will be the fifth flight, I think. I do have some. I have a new cowl coming because this one's got a gaping hole on the side from the old. I think it ran a glow engine on it. I don't think it was gas. So I have a cowl coming for the kit version, which I like better, just because looks-wise, I think it looks nicer. And I'm going to do some scheme stuff to the wings and make it a little more my own. So let's send this baby up. Wind is crosswinded a little bit, but it's pretty calm, so it shouldn't be a problem. Alright, what's my low rate set to? I like it on medium rates initially. It is dragging the tail a little bit on that. 18 pounds, 18.8 pounds. Well, with the 5K packs. Right now I got 4Ks in it. I don't have two matched sets of 5Ks, but I have a couple of matched sets of 4Ks. So I have 5Ks on order. Yeah, so 18.8 pounds. Wing loading, I forget what the numbers are. I know the cube loading was like 6.4, which is pretty low. A couple people, when I was saying what I was doing, to like, oh, you know, it's going to be underpowered. I was like, I run a 60cc in mine, and it's got unlimited vertical. I was like, well, not everybody wants unlimited vertical. The purpose of this was to play with giant scale. Not that this is monstrous, but it's definitely bigger than anything else I got. To see how I like dealing with a larger plane, transporting, whatnot. It does fit in the truck assembled, so I don't have to take it apart, which is really nice. Although, you know, long-term storage in the house, I have to take it apart. But for now, it's got a place to live in the back where it can stay assembled. But the ultimate goal for this, I wanted to play with a 30cc platform with 12S because I want to build the quarter scale decathlon. And that's going to be a little lighter than this. That's going to be around, should be around 13, 14 pounds instead of 18. And so that should fit really well with the 30cc thing. So I wasn't sure if I was going to like the Aeromaster. So the idea was I would buy this setup. If I didn't like it, I would strip it and put the and then this setup would eventually end up in the decathlon. But as it stands, this thing flies awesome. so I quite enjoy it. It's a little funky. Like, the looks of an Aeromaster I think are a little hit and miss. Some people love it, some people hate it. I've never been a huge fan of it. The ARF version has funky flat spots on the cowls that I don't like, where the kit version, it's like fully round over the top, which I think I'll like better than the, plus, you know, it's hard to find parts for, at this point, almost 20-year-old ARF, so I will, the Fiberglass Specialties makes the cowl for the kit version, so that's what I ordered. I haven't even been full throttle yet. I take off a little over half throttle. This is a little over half throttle, maybe close to 3/4. But yeah, the Aeromaster is a little weird. At least the giant one. It's like it wants to be a sport plane. It wants to be a Stearman. It's like it has like a little bit of an identity crisis, but it definitely flies really nice. Like inverted, it's like doesn't even care. Like that's almost no down forward pressure to hold it inverted. I mean, is it a little bit on the lower side of the power spectrum? Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with flying a plane on the wings. I could prop it a little more. It's at 1810 right now, and the motor comes back ice cold. Same with the ESC. So at the expense of some flight time, I could probably get like a 1910 or even a 2010 on there and get a lot more pull. As of right now, I think this ends up equating to about 1.3 to 1 power to weight. So it's kind of, it's not a ballistic aerobat. Say it's more in the lines of a Stearman right now. It's like, when I first flew it, I kind of felt like it's a Stearman that likes to fly inverted. Because my little Stearman model, it doesn't really like to be inverted. But other than that, it's pretty much flies the same. Yeah, I really want to add some, a little bit to the scheme, some stripes, something. I add the checker on the tail. You're supposed to have checker on the rudder, but there was a bunch of wrinkles in the rudder, and I went to go iron them out, and all the checkers just shriveled up into nothing. So I think they were trimmed. They were trim pieces, not covering pieces. So I had to take them off. But I want to put the checker back, and mess around with a little bit of the scheme on the wings. Just make it a little more presence, a little more visible in the air. It's a little plain. All right, bring this thing in. Alright, yeah, so alright, so that's that. Put the throttle lock on, and I'll show you, if I don't know if it'll show up in camera, but this is where I'll unplug the motor quick. So I made this hatch. I cut the bottom, cut the nose out. On the ARF, the strut upper cabanes are supported by a big ply beam kind of that's attached to the side, so this top doesn't really add any structure to it. And yeah, this just kind of snaps into place, and the wires are in the way, and that's it. Almost looks like it's supposed to be that way. Tons of room to get the packs out. Again, I don't know if this is going to show up on camera. Just gonna move this out. And that's that. Alright, I'll get the other set of packs and send it up for another one. Alright, one last flight of the Aeromaster. If they both videos come out good, I'll join them together. 8 minutes, it should be where it needs to be. Alright. You see the gaping hole in the cowl. Kind of crosswinded, it doesn't really matter which way I take off. I like going this way because that's over there. So kind of sucks. Hopefully time changes. Well, it will change next week. Give me more hours flying after work. Alright, up she goes. Again, that was like 3/4 throttle takeoff, maybe a little above. Something about the second flight, I'm always more comfortable with it, because usually, at least the first plane I flew was the Cadet, which obviously flies a specific way. So the first flight of the second plane that I fly in a day, it's a little bit of a discovery zone. The second one is let it all hang out. Roll rate's not amazing. It does have a lot of wing. It does have quad ailerons and quad servos. They're old school servos. That's one thing I did. They're high-tech 311s, which they still make, but they're low voltage, 6-volt max. So I'm running a 20 amp BEC separate from the ESC is a non-BEC, using a YEP 120 amp. So far, I'm a big fan of YEP. I've never had an issue with one. And if they're ever in stock, this one happened to be in stock. It's the high voltage up to 12S or 14S, either one, 12 or 14S, I can't remember. There's no BEC in it, so you got to run either a flight pack or a second BEC, which is what I have here. I could have ran, either way I would have had to run a BEC with these, because I'm not going to run a NIMH or a NICAD pack like you would have run back in the day. That's just not going to do that. So it was either run the BEC with the flight pack, like a 3S or 2S, but I just did some reading, and a lot of people just use it for what it's intended. It still runs off the main 12S pack. It's a 12S BEC, also a YEP 20 amp, and so far it's been good. It comes back ice cold. And yeah, I wasn't really I didn't really want to spend a ton of money on a whole new set of servos for this, when these sounded fine. So I figured I'd run the BEC so I could run them at 6 volts. when I do the decathlon, I plan on getting high volt servos so I can run I can run 8 volts on either on the BEC or just run a 2-cell LiPo straight into it, depending on what I want to do. Dealing with another pack, what didn't entice me. It's enough to charge these big packs, to charge little packs on top of it. It's just and I don't fly that much. Like, I'll fly 2 or 3 times, and go home. So I wouldn't even use up I have to discharge it every damn time I go home if I fully charge the 2-cell LiPo as a receiver pack. But I'd say it's got plenty of power. Yeah, it doesn't have unlimited vertical by any means. That also wasn't wide open either. Let's see if I can go wide open here. Yeah, she's going. She's got plenty of power. I just tend to fly on the wing. It's just my style. Use some energy management. I don't know, I haven't really tumbled this thing yet. I have it on high rates right now. Let's see what happens. There she goes. It's funny though, it's just an adjustment because you're throwing a lot more weight around. So everything just, I get it now. Like, I get the appeal, especially as, I'm not putting people under a bus here, but as people get older, the planes get bigger because A, you can see it, and B, everything just happens just a little bit slower and there's more time to react. So I get it now. I get why people fly big planes. Again, this is not a massive plane. It does qualify as giant scale, but I know, you know, it's an entry level giant scale. I think it's 73 or 73.5 inch wingspan, which for a biplane, it's, you know, it's pretty big. As I say, it's almost 19 pounds flying right now. It just tracks so nice. It reminds me, believe it or not, and it kind of makes me wish it was a little bigger now, which, you know, sky's the limit on what planes I build. I could build a larger one, but it does remind me a little bit of my Skybolt. It has the same wing configuration, slender fuselage, long fuselage. It just, it reminds me of that a little bit. It doesn't look as good as its Skybolt. I think the Skybolt has much better lines. It is much more sporty looking. Yeah, I really enjoy throwing this thing around. And honestly, I was a little concerned about, you know, dealing with, you know, it sucks up 2 packs at once. You know, it's extra, but it hasn't been really a problem. It takes a little longer to charge. I may invest in another set of chargers so I could I can charge another 4 batteries at once. I tend to like to do 4 flights a day if I fly. So if that means that's 4 packs for 2 flights in the Aeromaster and 2 packs in another plane, that's a single cell. Or single pack, I should say. It likes to push over nice. Coming up on my timer, I think. And yeah, 22 volts on the battery. And I am only getting voltage telemetry on 1 pack right now. I have a sensor that I'm trying to get to work. I need to get some, I don't have the right diodes. But I can feed an 80 volt sensor into the ELRS serial connection and hopefully get to read the combination of both packs, because right now the ELRS, ER6 and ER8 Radiomaster receivers, the voltage VBAT is limited to 35 volts, which fully charged 12S I think is 52 volts, something along that line. So my 8-minute timer just went off, but the 5K packs do pretty good on time compared to the 4K packs. So it'd be nice to get another set of 5Ks to fly with. And it balances better too. The 4Ks it's a hair further on the tail heavy side compared to the 5Ks. So I think it's happier where the battery location is with the 5Ks. Just a wonderful, honest, no bad habits airplane. It really is a treat to fly. Alright, let's bring this sucker in. As Jay would say, butter. Which is very easy to do with a plane this large. Oh, don't crash into my cadet, idiot. It's very easy to bring it in nicely. Just that extra weight, extra time, just allows you to really set up a nice approach and bring it in. Oh, by the way, it does have green pants on it right now, so it's a Christmas tree plane. But I'm going to redo the pants. I put red on them. They're from the Ultra Stick 30cc ARF, and they were perfect. I didn't get pants with this plane when I got it from my friend. And overall, they look pretty good. So once they're red, it'll look really nice. But I have, believe it or not, the perfect matching monocoat roll from freaking 20 years ago. I put some patches on the rudder, and you can't even tell they're there. So the red, I'm going to put some red stripes on it and stuff, and some more checker on it. I think it'll look really nice once it's all said and done. So I'll have another video when that's done. But yeah, what a wonderful plane, and I'll see you on the next one.